Oksana CHUSOVITINA no doubt will be very well received in front of this home crowd. She's a world, Olympic, European medalist, as we said, 20 years she's been on the go. Extraordinary. A former European champion here as well with Ariella KAESLIN.
And of course she originally won first Olympic medal with the CIS team, the unified Soviet team.
So CHUSOVITINA opens up the vault. She's back after injury. Wonderful to see her once again.
She's so athletic, so fast down the runway. Handspring, pike front with 1.5 twist. Legs a little bit awry, but loads of energy on that vault.
So is that the difficulty of 6.3 there? I think in qualification she opted for a 5.9, so she could have upped again.
Yeah, the question is, if the judges consider this was a handspring straight front with 1.5 twist, they will give it the 6.3. If they consider it was the pike front with 1.5, they downgrade it to the 5.9. So the judges, the coaches and the gymnasts will nominate the harder one in the hope that that's what they'll get given, but it's down to the judges to decide. There's no deduction for nominating the wrong vault, but if they think it was pike, not straight, they'll downgrade it.
She really attacked that vault. And that's a feature of her work, though, isn't it? So strong, so aggressive into it.
She was given the 6.3. 14.8 scored for the first vault. 2 vaults added together and then an average will be taken.
She looks physically very strong and fit. Now has to come on backwards, so she turns on backwards, 1.5 twist, really powerful vault, big bound forwards there.
Lots of gas left at the end. Very difficult to get the repulsion from the top of the platform and to time the twist, and she still had a little bit left in the tank when she landed, but so clean and so confident.
Not bad for a mum. I'm sure so.
No, absolutely, and you know, I think she looks a bit faster and a bit fitter than perhaps a couple of years ago.
Certainly very lean.
Very much so. She had an Achilles injury which kept her out of competing.
Yeah, very, very clean in the air. Just a little bit too much left at the end. Giant pace forward, but lovely, sharp, efficient vaulting. Quickly onto the horse, just about got the block she needed. And then the little jump forward at the end. Well, quite a big jump forward at the end. But so clean in the air. And a smile, look at that.
Well, a total of 14.537. Very happy with that. Of course you are. 8 world medals. Unbelievable.
Really clean, well-lifted vaults there. This is the reserve come in from the Ukraine.
MARACHKOUSKAYA.
Gymnasts in the all-around have to do 2 different vaults if they want to qualify for vault final.
Nice, really good block off the top of the horse. Wrapped the twist in very well indeed. Good vault. Very high. And very clean. Big repulsion. Lovely full twist. Just a little bit off centre. Good vaulting though.
Yeah, just a little bit of loss of tension through the knees. But I'm sure she had airtime for another twist in there, if she'd wanted, or if she'd trained it.
MARACHKOUSKAYA, 13.825 for her first vault.
difficulty of just 5, so quite a lot lower difficulty level. Now, needs this second vault different. Handspring, pike front with half turn, oh, and just a little collapse on landing. She's come in as the reserve, possibly at the last minute.
It's quite a low vault, that one. Didn't quite get the lift, the block that she needed to come down for the landing. She had momentum taking her forwards.
Yes, if you really block well on this platform, you can rocket into the sky, but you have to be really strong on the contact. And she just let the shoulders creep forwards a little bit.
It was quite well up, but the shoulders did creep forward, and look, she buckles on landing. Just not enough height. Let's see what the arms do as well. No, they were nice and straight, but the shoulders were forward, and there's the buckle.
She must have vaulted better in qualifying to have been in the reserve spot, but sometimes when you've had to come in at the last minute, it's a bit of, you know, sometimes people perform really well under that circumstance and some are a little bit shaken by it.
Well, down on the difficulty for that one, and costly landing into a 13.062 to 1.475 behind CHUSOVITINA. Elena, 16 years old. Second at the last Euros on vault.
Oh, and that was a bit of an untidy double twist. She had to vault last night to get the bronze medal, and she vaulted an awful lot better than that when the bronze medal was up for grabs.
The second twist looks like a little bit of an afterthought. She set the first one, and then they're just too late to swivel in for the second twist. Really run out of air, run out of time. Yeah, not a bad conversion, but feet a long way over the top, and she lost leg form. Well,
it was dead straight, though. I mean, she landed on the line and took the step to the right-hand side, but, yeah, a good line.
See, once you let those feet get past the vertical there, you're running out of air, and she really had to try and squeak in that second twist. It wasn't going to work.
I think these gymnasts, to do the double twist, the multiple twists, are really having to be fast and feeling fresh. And, of course, they competed last night, these gymnasts. Finished up 8:30 last night.
14 scored, first vault.
Now, second vault needs to be an improvement. The half turn on, the front somersault with a good landing. Actually, a beautifully flighted vault there. She made the round off in front of the board, the half turn on, so she came on forwards.
Good execution through the air.
It hung in the air, didn't it?
That's the thing with vault. It's over so quickly, isn't it? I mean, you can't rectify it. Once you leave the horse, that's it.
This was lovely. She really did dig deep into the pike, and so much time. Beautifully performed.
And what kind of a deduction for that landing?
This landing just now, 0.3, I think. She's had to step backwards.
Look at that. Very, very nicely into the pike. Got to be 3/10,
yeah,
isn't it?
3/10, big step back. They deduct either a 0.1, a 0.3, a 0.5.
She scores 13.45. Behind Tatiana, silver at the moment, but for how long? Leader. So vastly experienced, you know. You wonder what's going on in her mind. She's been in this position so many times. STEINGRUBER.
Top qualifier, and she vaulted phenomenally yesterday, but not today. What a disappointment. She landed that vault in the all-around competition superbly yesterday. She scored 15.375, the highest score of anyone in the competition. But today it was just short, wasn't it?
Does she hit the board a little bit too far down?
No, she was just short of the top. Get the maximum spring. It just ran out of air again, and it's a 1.5 twist. kick out from the pike has to be very, very sharp. Let's have a look. Yeah. Now, was that straight or was it piked?
Well, if they give it the 6-3, they consider it straight. That at least 2/3 of the vault, 60% of the vault, has to be shown in the straight shape. But our coach will be saying, do a good second vault, you're still in there.
And a 6.3, so 13.9 for the first vault. And she's got a very difficult vault to come as well. 6.2 difficulty. But what could have been, eh?
Well, this is the problem of turning around and competing again so quickly. This time, just the full twist off the Sukahara, but she's really got great potential as a vaulter. She's going to really figure, I think, at Worlds and possibly even Olympics as a vaulter.
Lots of power. She would have a closer look at that vault, but she didn't really straighten it out to make the twist. Just click around efficiently. Let's have a look. Need to get the body good and straight at this point. I don't think she could have been a bit straighter there to make the twist smoother. But still impressive.
Yes, the judges have a little bit of tolerance. She was dished rather than piked, but there will be some deduction for a little dish, I think. Good direction on that vault, though, because it's quite an easy vault to make offline.
Well, you could see she let her feet go to the side there, quite deep at that moment. She got rid of it, though, almost straight.
Well, she's gone into second with a score of 14. 13.9 for the second vault. Hangs in there, thinks on her teammate. SEITZ. Welcome you all around into World Championships.
Lovely lift, a well-flighted double twist, and of course, fantastic performance last night, vaulted just the same as that.
I'll tell you what, Chris, we talked about panda paws yesterday. The way she sprinted down that run-up, hit the block and rocketed up. That's why those paws are so useful. Look at this. Huge approach, huge block. Makes the double twist to give her the pace back. Good, strong, aggressive vaulting.
Good body shape as well there. She held that straight shape through the air. And, you know, she also had a big job on last night. Worked fantastically in front of her own crowd.
Lifted by the crowd, a score of 14.675. Keep it going, keep that consistency.
Right, needs this second vault. The gymnasts generally train their second vault a little bit less, so they're not quite so secure on it. Comes on forward, pike front half out. That was really very nicely flighted.
She did well there, Matt, because I think she checked her run just a little bit. Momentarily before the board, she sprints, she goes off at such a lick. And I think, I'll have a closer look, obviously, she had to check her run at the last minute. She did a good job there. You can't see it there. Lots of height. Half twisting the pike front. Has that done the job, do you think?
She used the front of the platform. Look, she blocks on the front there where the springs are. And if you have the courage to do that, it means you haven't got quite such a long second flight. But if you have the courage to block at the front, you really can lift into the air.
Well, she's gone into second. She was the 7th highest qualifier. What a performance. At the moment, it's Germany 1 and 2.
What a difference a silver medal in the all-round makes.
Yeah, she gained a lot of confidence from that last night, and she performed fabulously.
Sandra, Raluca, IZBASA.
Sandra IZBASA from Romania. Very experienced gymnast. World, Olympic, European level.
Lovely lift. She's got an ease of movement in her gymnastics, IZBASA. Always has had from when we very first saw her. She makes everything look quite effortless. And she's very explosive. She also has had big injury, but this really lifts.
Very businesslike, that same attack and approach, and a good landing as well. Almost dead centre. Maybe a centimetre to the right. But this, look at this. Lots of power, good conversion. Double twist, good landing. Tiny little shuffle at the end, but she means business.
She does, and of course the more twists, the higher start value.
Good score of that, 14.7 for the first one, 5.8 start value. 8-9 execution.
Now she had a 5.6 start value on her second vault, so she's one of the few gymnasts that's got fairly even start values for both vaults. Real purposeful run, the turn on, oh, very nice indeed. The half turn on, the straight front somersault with half turn. Execution was fabulous.
Well, surely CHUSOVITINA can't live with that. It was beautifully done. It had height, it had flight, it had style, line. Superbly done. Wonderful vault from IZBASA.
She looks quite emotional there, doesn't she?
Unusual for her, she's always in control.
Yeah.
I think it's been a big fight back from injury, getting back, not working all around. Look at this.
Oh. Beautiful.
That's the nicest vault we've seen.
Clean. Half turn on. Heels well over the top to rotate. Just a tiny bit twisted to the side.
Now there's no question that that was a straight front. It
Absolutely.
really does make the others look piked.
It's enough to put her into the lead. Sandra IZBASA. What about that? Absolutely gorgeous. A beautiful vault.
More renowned for her floor work, Olympic champion on floor, but this is a new Sandra IZBASA we're seeing, a champion vaulter as well.
Swiss gymnasts. This vault final, Ariella KAESLIN, European vault champion in 209.
And she completed that difficult vault very cleanly. She lifted well, high, held the shape. She didn't vault so well yesterday, interestingly, but today, when the medal's there for the taking.
Oh, just popped up the top again, Chris. He used the near end and got maximum repulsion. Big, big block here. Look at that. Super. Just to the side. Very good in the air.
So you see, this was one extra twist to IZBASA. IZBASA's vault was fabulously performed, but she just did a half twist. This was 1.5 twists, so the start value increases quite a bit. So you can afford the slight deductions.
14.95. The highest score we've seen. Tentative weight, this one, Sandra.
Has to match it with a very difficult second vault. She only did quite a simple vault in the qualifying, just a 5 start value. I'm sure she'll up it today.
With the absence of Stefina, KAESLIN could get herself a medal here.
The round-off approach. Oh, yes, she went for a more difficult vault, just got the feet down. We'll have to see. That's quite a challenge.
Very deep.
She thinks it's all right.
Well,
I think she feels confident.
I think so. I mean, she tried the double twist and got a little bit lost in the second of the two. Very deep, a little bit scrabbled at the end there.
She is a fantastic competitor, though. Yesterday evening, with nothing to compete for, she looked a different gymnast. Today, with the chance of a medal, quite different.
Yeah, well, she was 5th in Beijing. She was 2nd at the World Championships in 2009, and yeah, European champion for 09.
She just rescued this landing. That was really still twisting, inches from the deck. She did very well to rescue that. But it's such a deep landing, and she did almost stagger forward. That was very well rescued. but it'll be expensive, won't it, Chris?
It should be expensive. We will see.
Well, she's in with a chance of a medal. There's one gymnast left to go. She's in third at the moment. But Sandra IZBASA hangs on in the lead. 0.2 ahead of KAESLIN. This is the last gymnastic in this final. Tatiana, NABIEVA. World Championships in this piece of apparatus.
And double twist just, and a little bit untidy. Beautiful flight. And we've seen her, I say just because we have seen her compete 2.5 before. But she went for the double twist. Lovely height, but quite untidy legs in the air.
Soft knees. She had soft knees. And these judges are pretty eagle-eyed. I'm very impressed with the women's judging. They don't let you get away with anything. That was soft at the knees, legs a little bit apart. She landed it well, but she's going to be expensive in the air.
Was that a 5.8 difficulty?
Yeah, this was the same vault as we've just seen from Ariella KAESLIN. And although that was a lovely, well-landed vault, so she won't have the deductions on landing, she'll have far more deductions through the air. So I would suspect a pretty similar score.
14.5. 5.8 given for the difficulty.
So a little more generously dealt with than KAESLIN.
I thought that was very generous. There we are. Landing counts for a lot, doesn't it?
It does.
Final
it does.
impression.
Current European bronze medalist on vault goes for her second vault.
A half on the straight front with the half turn, although that was really quite piked. I think the judges would call that a pike front with half turn. Good flight.
I think she made a 90-degree angle. That was a pike. I'll have a closer look. But when you get to 90 degrees at the hips, it's got to be classed a pike. We'll have a closer look, but she can't contain herself. It's great. I've got myself a gold medal.
And of course, a tremendous fillip for Romanian gymnastics, which was a little bit waning a year or so ago. They've taken bronze medal in the all-around. If this is a gold...
That was definitely a right angle. Got to call that a pike, surely.
Yeah, just outside the medal. She finishes in fourth with a score of 14.287. Lovely scenes of Sandra IZBASA there, European vault champion.
20 years old now, and we've seen her develop so much as a gymnast.
Wonderful execution scores for that second vault. Very memorable vault, that one. 9.05 for that.
Sometimes, you know, when you see not such a difficult vault done with such grace, such elegance, such time, such awareness, it does lift you even more than all the complex twisting. It was beautiful to watch.
Yes, it brings the beauty of the sport to the fore. She's quite a beautiful gymnast, even in the way she holds herself, and graceful feminine gymnast.
Swiss camp not entirely happy with the outcome.
STEINGRUBER is the highest qualifiers. High hopes. A teammate, KAESLIN, she takes the bronze. Yeah. Just such a young girl, only 17, so, and KAESLIN may be slightly injured, I don't know.
Well, we had the same thing in the all-round yesterday, wasn't it, Chris?
No, she's been quite unwell. She's been suffering from a flu-like virus.
Confirmation then that Sandra IZBASA from Romania is the European vault champion, followed by Oksana CHUSOVITINA, another European medal